Hello and welcome to We Got a podcast about Dragon Ball from A to Z, from Earth to Namek to Sadala. We cover it all. My name is Randy.
And I'm the instrument of your defeat, Doug.
Oh, you came in with one.
Got it.
I'm so happy. We are the world's strongest under the heavens duo here every other week to talk your ear off about fights, goofs, and everything else in the Dragon Ball cosmos. Doug, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Wedding season is in full effect right now. I had my best friend's wedding was the past weekend, and I had to give a best man speech.
Well, and you killed it. Did you watch Hitch beforehand so that way you knew what to do?
Oh, I should have. Yeah, no. I had the power of Will Smith within me the whole time. I didn't need to.
Oh, but no, of course.
My friend, he didn't. It was like kind of an untraditional wedding. He didn't have groomsmen or best man or anything like that. But I still made a speech as in case.
Mm-hmm.
And so later on in the night, after we're dancing and have little drinks in us, I decided to give my speech, and everyone absolutely loved it. And yeah, my ego was boosted, and they even wanted me to repeat it the next day. They were having a luncheon kind of thing the next day with everyone who couldn't make it, and so I repeated it then. But I had no drinks in me. I was sober. And I didn't realize I needed that liquid courage to be able to say the speech, because the speech was so much more worse after saying it twice, and some jokes don't work after you've already heard them the first time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I should have just stayed quiet. I should have just said it one time and won a hero. But no, I gotta whatever. It was still fun though.
Exactly. You still had that moment, and it was great. I'm sure they appreciated it either way. You're probably, you're more your own worst critic than everybody else. So
true.
But that's good.
Yeah. How about you, man? How are you?
I haven't done any weddings recently, but I have been sitting at home. And okay, what was it? I think, did I bring it before? I finally sat down and watched all of the Fast and the Furious movies, which was great. I'm
familiar with you doing that.
Yeah, real good times. And then now,
which I'm surprised that I don't know. I could never get into those movies. I mean, the first two or three, I think I enjoyed just because I was that age demographic, but then I grew out of that quickly.
Oh, it gets more ridiculous and stupid in the best ways possible as you keep going on. So
I just wanted to watch, I think the ending of 7 because it had the song "When I See You Again," which is my A&B song. So
right,
let me just see this. Yeah, but besides that, it just seemed too much to me. But I kind of want to rewatch it now because that video I sent you.
2x2 Furious.
2x2 Furious, where a guy on YouTube made a video about explaining how the movie is actually a secret gay film, and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Or a bi film. It's actually oh my god, yeah, it makes sense. It totally makes sense. I want to see it again with new eyes.
Yeah, same here, because I didn't like 2 when I first watched it, and now seeing through that, it could be a lot of fun. But after I finished those, we decided that we were going to watch all of the Spider-Man movies. So,
you're late, dude. I did that already.
I've seen them all already. Well, actually, I hadn't seen Sam Raimi film 2 and 3, which is wild because 2 is incredible.
You haven't?
But in one weekend, we watched 1, 2, and 3, which was great. Number 1, which I had seen before, was yeah, it was all right. 2,
no, you're crazy.
Phenomenal. 3,
yes,
blah.
Yeah, 3 kind of growing on me. It's still a fun film.
Oh yeah, it's just so long. It should have been shorter. It's too much movie in that movie.
I just can't get over Topher Grace as Venom. Oh yeah, that was just a missed opportunity.
And then this past weekend, we did Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, which I had seen and I liked, and Andrew had seen the first one and hated it, so he didn't bother seeing the second one.
Yeah, the first one was horrible. Second one is just worse.
I liked them, and then we rewatched them. I'm like, yeah, nope, I actually don't like these. Oh man. But unfortunately, not gonna be able to keep going in order because I've got tickets for Venom for Friday. So
nice. You still get tickets ahead of time?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I guess that's. I'm still
reserved seating at the Alamo Draft House, and this is the first time I'm going back in a year and a half. So.
That's true. Yeah. I was like, that is the common thing to get tickets before band. Well, yeah. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. But hey, we're not here to talk about your friendly neighborhood webhead.
Yeah.
Or 2x2 Furious. We are here to talk about a movie, though, and we're here to talk about Dragon Ball Z, the rebirth of Fusion, Goku and Vegeta, or Fusion Reborn.
Or movie 12, as I know them, just as numbers now.
Just numbers. That's easier to do.
So
and
weird.
Also,
when my friends ask me, "Oh, what movie are you watching this time for Dragon Ball Z for the podcast?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, movie 12." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you don't know what that means when I say that. My bad."
Yeah, depending on who you talk to.
The one with Gogeta.
You got to be like villain name.
Yeah.
But some people, it's like I can just spit out a number. And you're like, oh, okay, I know what one that is, which is fun. Doug, do you want to tell us what movie 12 is all about?
Yeah, I can tell you. Let me find it on your handy dandy notebook here. Okay. Fusion Reborn. The Oni responsible for watching the soul cleansing machine is taken over by an evil spirit, and the afterlife succumbs to his will. All across Earth, dead villains come back to life. Goku and Vegeta attempt to defeat Janemba while their families deal with the chaos upon Earth. Their only chance to win? Fusion.
Yeah! You read it so well. I gotta have you do that every single time.
Thanks, man. Yeah, that's how I did my speech, too, so.
Will their families deal with the chaos upon Earth? Mazel tov. So happy you're married.
It's like, joke's on you. I have a YouTube channel where I occasionally speak sometimes in a podcast.
Yep, exactly. You're getting a lot of hours under your belt. Yeah. This movie came out March 4th, 1995. Just so that we've got context of where it happened. This premiered after episode 258, which is Gotenks fighting Boo in the Room of Spirit and Time.
Which is really cool that it's before, like, it's after the introduction of that fusion dance.
Yeah.
But before Potara.
Exactly. So we're aware that fusion exists, so then we were wondering, could Goku and Vegeta do this? And then the movie is like, kinda. Yeah.
We're wondering too. Let's do it. But then Vegeta still exists. That's just great.
Right. It was directed by Shigeyasu Yamauchi. We've seen him before. He was the director of the first and second Broly movie 8 and 10.
Good looking movies.
Yeah. There are good-looking movies.
Really
and
good-looking.
They're well-directed, and I think this one follows in those footsteps. So let's go over it through the whole thing. So memory serves, because unfortunately...
Let's start out with Pikkon and Goku fighting in the afterlife.
It's another Anoyuichi Budokai or something. I'm not sure if it's... after the last one, which I guess it's been 7 years, so I guess that's not out of the realm of possibility. But they're going to match up against each other, but then trouble is brewing at the soul cleansing laundry machine, which is a thing.
Yeah. It's that little little drops of like realism, not realism, but you know what I mean? Like where like someone has a job to do and it's just like a punk teenager doing a job like that. That feels so Dragon Ball.
We're world building.
Exactly.
Which is great.
Yeah.
So some punk teenager who forgets to change out the canisters that are holding all of the evil, just the evil from
just
the souls
the evil
that are cleansed.
Of everything.
Soaks into him, and he gets transformed into a big yellow fat
Majin Buu. Yellow. You said.
Janemba. Which of course causes all sorts of wacky things to go on in the afterlife. Stuff's getting turned into jelly beans or like encased in it, and we have people who were once dead returning to the earth. We've got
how does that correlate again? I don't.
It's bending to his will, remember? So I guess he just wants the dead things back to life.
Yeah, I guess that does explain the jelly beans, but the bringing the dead back to life, I feel like maybe that's less to do with him. That's just like
we got a film to fill out, so we got to have a B plot.
Well, I mean, there's got to be something associated with the evil cleansing machine breaking. And maybe everything that's not sucked into Janemba, it has to go somewhere, and it just went back to Earth or back to Hitler's body.
Well,
I don't know.
It's not all bad guys, because there's that one old grandpa, and then there's
Juliana. Maybe she was evil. Oh my god, does that mean she was evil?
True, because otherwise we got Hitler, we got Dracula, we got other bad guys. Yeah, that's
true. It's just like zombies and stuff. Yeah, just evil things, and then Juliana.
So maybe, she was just a monster.
I want to watch that movie. I want to see that backstory.
Backstory of Juliana. Oh, man.
Because she committed suicide. That's why she's considered evil. I don't know. It's very religious in my Dragon Ball.
Yeah. So, of course, Pikkon and Goku decide that they're going to try and help, and they see that King Enma, Yama, however, which one you want to call him, is also being subjected to being frozen in a jelly bean. So, I guess fight the guy that's causing it.
Go find out what's going on. It's coming from hell. Go check it out.
Right.
Goku's like, I've been there.
I'm well acquainted. So then it's kind of action-y fun time where it's him fighting against Janemba. Oh, and also Pycon discovers that you can break the jelly beans by being rude to them.
Yeah, is it being rude or specifically saying curse words to it?
Well, at least in the subtitles, there's nothing that's particularly vulgar. He's just calling it like an idiot and like other things. So it just seems like it's just being rude. Does it more so than anything else? Because I remember seeing this
dub the first time I saw it, and it was just like it was specifically him saying curse words, but like PG-13 curse words, like
right.
You potty mouth, or something. You I don't know. You moronic
damn
idiot.
Fool.
Not even damn. It was just like you darn idiot, ignoramus. Oh my god, my jelly beanness.
It's shattering.
Yeah.
So while Goku is handling that, the kids, Goten and Trunks, and Gohan and Videl are there too. Have to fight against the revived previous villains, like Frieza's there, and the Ginyu Force, and everybody shows up. It's kind of a wild trip.
That was the clip when I saw, like, as I was growing up, and this movie didn't come out in America yet, just that clip of Gohan punching Frieza in the gut.
One-shotting him.
Yeah, that's like, oh my god, I can't wait until this movie comes out and I can see that. And yeah, it was just as great as when I remember seeing it. And it was, it's fantastic.
Oh yeah. Goten and Trunks have to fight Hitler, which is the thing that happens.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? About making this decision of, besides just villains to come back, we're also going to bring back Dracula, but also, hey, here's Hitler. Here's a real guy that did shit just like 50 years ago.
I mean, like they're just thinking of the worst possible creatures / humans that ever existed, and Hitler's definitely up there as one of the ones that's unanimously agreed upon as being evil.
Right, and he does get clowned on the whole time. Like Goten and Trunks, like this is nothing, and he's not a threat, and
he's drawn like comically like puny and all that shit. So yeah, it's just kind of it definitely is just kind of like a surprise to see that in Dragon Ball,
especially for American audiences, because I know that like things were changed for this movie. I know when it aired on like Nicktoons and stuff back when they were airing Dragon Ball, that entire side plot whenever he was around is not there. So like Goten and Trunks have like nothing to do in that movie.
Oh really?
Yeah. Because they're like, oh, can't do that. Even in the dub, they had named him just like the dictator. They never gave him the name, but they're still like, nope, it's way too iconic. We can't do this.
Yeah, just too taboo to speak about him, even if he's getting clowned on. I don't know. That's a whole other thing, but yeah, I guess.
Right. I want to talk about Goku's fight with Janemba, specifically when he's fat, because this is a part of the fight and movie that I never really remember a lot of. But
but it is like one of the more creative aspects of the movie, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. I mean, he's like sending the jelly beans down on top of him. He's
making little Janembas.
A lot of tiny Janembas. He makes like a clone of Goku in his palm, and then they both fire Kamehamehas at each other.
That part was too short-lived. Like the clone Goku. I'm like, whoa, do more with that. I want to see.
How does he deal with himself, Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. Like a mimicking, like a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, Link and Dark Link or whatever, Shadow Link or whatever it's called.
Now that I bring it up, I'm remembering, because just to the point where the 23rd Budokai has happened in my current watch of Dragon Ball, there's a section of Goku training at Kami's beforehand where he fights a clone of himself.
Oh, right. The Popo makes like a doll or whatever of him.
Yeah, it's like a clay doll with like Goku's hair, and then he uses the life water to bring him to life, and he has all the same moves and stuff, which that was also fun. So like, if we could have,
I mean, just like one or two more scenes. Don't overstay your welcome with it, because then that kind of makes, keep the focus on Janemba, but like just do two more moves. Just one Kamehameha was like, oh, he can do that? Okay. But he doesn't utilize it again. Oh well.
Yeah. But Goku decides that he doesn't want to keep this fight going for too long, so he's going to elevate things to a form that he hadn't used since he defeated Majin Buu, or since he had last faced...
Since he fought him, yeah.
Yeah, faced Majin Buu, which is Super Saiyan 3. It makes its film debut, which is cool and pretty and trippy.
And because trippy, super gnarly.
Psychedelic craziness of just like colors everywhere, and man,
I remember using that scene for an AMV back in the day, and then someone commenting, well, how did you make that effect for the AMV? I'm like, oh, I didn't do that.
That's all baked in.
Toei Animation on crack.
Yeah, that was a choice by I assume Yamauchi.
Yeah, and I think we all appreciate it. It definitely it looks cool and adds a new little flavor to the scene.
There's no way you can see that clip outside of context if you watch all of Dragon Ball and not know, oh, that's from movie 12. Like,
yeah,
you know, like, was
exactly.
that in the booth? Like, nope. That was definitely movie 12.
You don't look at it and be like, oh, that happens when he transforms. No, it doesn't. It's just just in hell.
So he's transformed now. He's gonna bring this to an end very quickly, which I had talked to you when we had watched it. I'm like, I like that he is like, I need to like get through this fast because we've learned since watching the show and in the manga that Super Saiyan 3 is a big drain on your energy and you can only sustain it for a very short period of time. So he's just going all out and just like, I just gotta beat this guy, blow him up, whatever. And
well,
get
is it
through
the same
with this.
when he's dead though? I think that's what he said. Also, he's like, it's hard for me to do it when I'm alive or in the living world.
True. Yeah, I mean,
maybe
I know it's
just
more difficult when he's alive.
Like, it's already difficult when he's dead, but it's even more difficult when he's in the living world. So still difficult.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I appreciated that. I mean, I know that as a movie, we've got a shorter duration, a time frame that we can get stuff done in, but I think it was a good use of it.
Definitely.
And then after he defeats him, it looks like Janemba reforms into some sleeker, cooler-looking villain who
the grossest transformation I think we've ever seen in Dragon
Ball. With a lot of gross sounds.
Yeah, it's like something straight out of Alien or something, but
right,
still cool.
Oh yeah, and now he's just a growly man.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't say his own name again, does he?
No, he's just.
Yeah,
that's a perfect interpretation. I love it. So then Goku's on the ropes because now this dude's got like a magic sword and he's able to cut through everything.
Iconic.
And he's got weird portals that he could reach through and come out through other sides or throw stuff into.
He introduced it in that
attacks.
form, but yeah, like now he's using it super efficiently.
Well, who's gonna save Goku's ass at this point, man? Who
Maybe
could do
someone
it?
who also wants Goku dead, but by his own hands,
and is also in hell
because he hasn't reached that arc yet in his story.
That's right. Vegeta's on the scene, and apparently he thinks that if Goku couldn't defeat him in Super Saiyan 3, that he can, and just Super Saiyan 2.
Did they mention how Vegeta came back? Like, was it because of the machine broke and he was a part of that, or was it?
I don't recall if in the film they explicitly say, but I would assume because he doesn't have a body, being an evil person.
Right, that's just canon. You don't have a body when you go to hell.
Yeah, I mean, happens in the show anyway, but
I know in the show he's like, King Yama gave me permission to come over here to help you with Majin Buu, with Buu.
Oh yeah,
but I don't think this is the case. I don't think this is the scenario here. I think it is just maybe that machine broke and that also set Vegeta free, but he stuck around in hell.
Right. Yeah. That makes the most sense. I mean, we do have that shot at the end of the movie where after everything is done, his body dissolves and he's back to just being a spirit.
Right. So. Okay, no, then that's what it is then. And that makes sense then.
Yeah. So then it's the two of them and they're trying to defeat Janemba, and of course they still are no match. So Goku comes up with the great idea. We have to do fusion. Which is
it's the hot new trick that we can crank out in this season.
Toriyama's wife introduced us to fusion, and now everybody's got to do the dance.
God bless
I believe that's where it came from, right? I believe she was the one that came up with the pose and stuff.
I know she came up with Kamehameha, but I don't know.
Then maybe I have that confused.
You're mixing it up. Yeah, I don't know about fusion.
Yeah. Either way,
it might have been. Yeah, she's a great contributor to when Toriyama's in a I can't. What word am I thinking of?
Slump?
In a slump! Oh my god!
We did it!
The irony.
But so they gotta do fusion, and of course Vegeta is not super keen on the idea, right?
Of course not.
Oh, why would he be? It's a bunch of goofy
it's so degrading.
dances.
I'm a prince. I shouldn't be able to do this shit. Which now, I can give a pass on. Yeah, that makes sense for him not to want to do that. I think it's more in the Broly movie where I'm like, aren't we past this, Vegeta? You shouldn't be like embarrassed or like have them with this much pride about this, but I don't know.
But then it's the poses and things that he's like, I'd rather die than have to do that dance.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It's the only way, Vegeta.
It's the only way. I mean, I love that shot of him saying, I'd rather die than fuse with you, to Goku, who says, but Vegeta, you're already dead, and kind of like points to the halo above both their heads. And Vegeta just goes through all of the emotions.
He has like 5 facial reactions within 2 seconds, and it's glorious.
It's so good. I love to see it. Each frame is just... Man,
someone had fun with that. Someone had fun drawing that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So they're trying to do fusion, and they give it a go, and I believe Vegeta fucks up the finger positions.
Yeah, he makes a fist instead of pointing fingers outward.
That's right. So then their fusion is complete into... Veku, who is Fat Gogeta.
which is... I'm glad they didn't make that name the Potara earring name, you know?
Oh, God. I mean, it doesn't sound great. Neither does Vegerot from Viz's choices. I mean, I get what they did.
You gotta imagine, like, I don't think they had the hindsight to predict that Toriyama was gonna implement fusion of his own into the story and then call it Vegito. What if they said, "Oh, this is an error. It's Vegito"? You know, what if they accidentally named him that? Or Vegerot at the very least still would have been like too close to.
Right.
Yeah.
I will say
Veku's
one thing.
Perfect.
It is. Veku is good for what this is. Mm-hmm. And then it gets to be some more kind of fun hijincy things because Veku thinks that he is the strongest. Yeah. But of course, he's nothing.
It's so great. The music that plays as it's just a montage of him fucking up. It's so great.
Falling onto him and farting in his face, and then they gotta chase each other. Which
the way he runs, like he pitter patters, like is like he's bobbing back and forth as he runs forward. It's so great.
As he's getting hit around, he's just like bouncing off of like the ground or whatever. Like,
I wish he was like a taller character though, like the size of Vegeta and Goku, because he just kind of looks like a fat Gotenks. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's kind of stumpy.
Yeah. Like I guess still keep him short, but not that short. It still just seemed too close to Gotenks, the fat Gotenks.
I always thought he was kind of their normal height. It's just that he is so wide that I guess it looks like it. Because Janemba is a pretty tall dude.
That's true.
So the fusion only lasts for so long, and thankfully it breaks just before they're about to get impaled and murdered.
Which is super interesting because as soon as they defuse, Goku's like, "Now, Vegeta," as if they had a plan that they spoke to each other in their minds, but because they're one being, they spoke. You know, like it's in their mind already.
Right.
It's kind of cool. They split up and like we talked about this when we were one character. I don't know, it's interesting to me.
Yeah, I've always been kind of interested in that whole dynamic of fusion. Like, is it an entirely different brain?
Yeah.
Like, it's a different person, or is it, like,
way
you're
more than
both still
Toriyama would
there?
ever put thought into. But yeah, like, it gets our brains going. Like, what does that mean?
Yeah. What is the philosophy here?
Does he absorb memories?
Is he dead
both?
now?
Yeah. I know. I think they maybe talked about it once somewhere or in a guidebook or something that it's just a whole new character. It's not like both their minds together. It's just one whole new character, which I really like.
I mean, there even is that line later of "I'm neither Goku nor Vegeta," so it's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, at least they're aware of their previous selves. Like, even Vegeta was like, oh, okay, I was Goku, or like Kakarot and Vegeta, so I guess my name would be Vegito, or whatever it is.
Right. But I'm also thinking, like, how, like, for example, if they were stuck as Vegito or Gogeta, like, oh, am I going to choose Chi-Chi or Bulma? It's like, no, I'm a different character. I choose neither. I'm going to go find my own woman. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
It's the whole new character. I like that idea.
Yeah. So now they're trying to figure out, like, okay, we got to do this again. Vegeta, I got to have you focus. I got to have you do the dance right this time. Mm-hmm. And
but all these distractions, I can't.
Yeah, all these distractions. Janemba keeps screwing up. Uh-oh. Who's here to save the day? It's Pikkon.
Piccolo. Oh, I mean, Pikkon.
I mean, he's a strong dude, but I don't think he's Janemba level, but that's okay. He's just here to distract while Goku and Vegeta get their fusion on.
Yeah, he's making the ultimate sacrifice for himself. Like, I'm doing this because I know this is what will win. So it's a great moment for him.
I don't think they've explained it yet in the anime, but I know that later on they kind of explain, like, if you die when you're dead, like, your existence is over. Like, there's nothing else. So he really is kind of making the ultimate sacrifice there, which is pretty good.
He gets, like, the coolest, like... I've never seen someone get punched in the face so cool. With, like, the double fists.
The double fists on both sides,
yeah. Like, dang, you feel that.
It doesn't feel great.
No, and with the timing, though, of the fusion actually working is just so great. Mm-hmm.
I had a clip of that whole section of, like, them doing the fusion while Pikkon's getting trashed when I was, like, in 7th grade, and I'm like, this is the coolest thing.
I think many of us had that clip. That and then the movie 10 Broly, the father-son Kamehameha.
Oh, yeah.
We all had that clip. Yeah. So great.
So the fusion worked, and now we've got a sexy...
Someone in Japan was like, these clips are the bomb, and I need to share them with the world.
Thebomb.com, and they're going up on the...
is where we found him.
We're putting them up so people with their 56K modems can download these over the course of a couple of days. Ugh, the past was terrible.
It was something interesting.
Right. So now we've got a sexy new fusion. We've got Gogeta on the scene.
Yeah, it looks so good, man. It's just, that's everything Dragon Ball needed to be at that moment in time for all our lives.
Oh, yeah. Just sleek and cool and like, I don't know, he moves so weird. It's like the weird, like, he does that teleport dash forward, and then by the time he arrives, there's just a whole bunch of punches in Janaba's front.
I mean, it's almost like Ultra Instinct-y, how he moves.
Yeah, that's true. It's just very, like, ethereal and, like, elegant is kind of how I always...
They really reflect that super well in this series in general, like, just how, when they reach, like, fusion forms or, like, Ultra Instinct, that kind of, like, different levels, like, not just your own surpassing yourself, it's just these distinct forms, like, they make it super ethereal, and it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. And then he's got the weird, like, rainbow ball thing, the Soul Punisher.
Yeah, Soul Punisher, they call it in games.
Yeah.
They didn't give it a name, obviously, in the movie, but it just looks awesome, and it's just, it's great.
I'm trying to remember what it's called in the Budokai Tenkaichi games, because it's called something else. Stardust Breaker, I believe, is what it's called there. But
right.
Yeah, they got to give it different names.
Super flashy.
Yeah, weird rainbow ball that explodes you from the inside out. It's so weird.
But yeah, it's like a spirit bomb almost. It's just he grabs and chucks it at Janemba. Janemba punches him in the face, and just, oh man, my 15 or 16-year-old self was like, yes, this is
hell
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, is it really an attack? Because it's more like cleansing all of the evil, because then it just kind of evaporates away, and then there's the Oni there.
That's true, dude. Like, yeah, what if it's not even a... Yeah, like you said, not an attack. That wouldn't hurt a regular person, like the Spirit Bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, what if that is? Yeah, that's like a fusion of Goku and Vegeta. Like, that's Goku's Spirit Bomb with something in Vegeta. I don't know. You know what I'm getting at, though? You know what I mean? There's something there.
I was going to bring something up from the super manga that happens in the Moro arc, but of course, obviously, that's further than this, and you haven't read it, so I don't want to talk about it.
But you know, and the audience who'd read Super knows.
You know. If I say soul fission, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, of course. That's cool. I like to think, like, you know how the Genkidama didn't hurt Gohan, he just bounced it back at Vegeta. This is like the same thing. It just kind of, it's a cleanser. It's not a boom boom laser, or this hurts no matter who touches it. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then also at the same time we had Goten and Trunks who were like, oh hey, we could sense the key in Afterworld
that was weird. That was just for fan service. That was they're fusing. Let's fuse too.
Yeah, we'll
as if we needed to destroy these guys.
Right, as if you needed that power to clown on Hitler. But it looks cool. The Super Ghost Kamikaze attack, and that's fine because now all of the zombies and the dead people go away.
That's genius. I was gonna say because like it's 2 against a lot of people. You're slowing down your odds by making yourself 1, having to take care of all these. But no, the Ghost Kamikaze attack, it's infinite. Yeah, that's genius, actually. Man, this movie's just getting me left and right.
Right. You know what? I just thought of something, and I'm not sure if it's... I don't know. It's weird. So, Hitler, obviously, World War II.
You think about Hitler a lot. Yeah, I know.
Constantly. Hitler, World War II, not great. Does some bad things. Gotenks uses Super Ghost Kamikaze attack, which Japan... in World War II, had kamikaze pilots when they were friends with Hitler. That's an interesting choice.
Connection, yeah. I think it's just a coincidence in this movie.
I think it is. But I'm just like, oh, okay. That's a choice.
That's funny.
So everything's fine. Vegeta is gonna evaporate back into a soul because everything's going back to normal, and the kids won't tell Gohan or Videl how they managed to put an end to everything.
Just for fun's sakes, yeah.
For fun's sake.
But the look on Gogeta's face when he's still Gogeta and like the smile that he gives the little Oni, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
It is a strange... I can't exactly place like what feeling it is. Maybe is it like relief, but also like he's just proud of the guy being able to like still be alive after all this, or...
Yeah. Well, I think they just drew his face a little weird, but I don't know, maybe... they paid attention to it a lot, and maybe it's a combination of Goku's Vegeta's face, more often than they usually draw it.
My worry is they were going for something else, kind of like that one shot after Goku kills Frieza in the anime. They draw his face entirely wrong for the expression he's supposed to be showing from the manga, where it's like remorse, and then instead it's like anger. Like, oh, no, you screwed up.
Yeah. Isn't that great, though, that in the manga, it's that face Goku gives, it speaks levels.
So good. God, that one shot, that's so powerful. But that's the movie. Doug, what did you like this movie? And if so, what did you like about it?
I really did enjoy it. It looked beautiful, first of all, which we got to say. It's great. It had fun ideas. It's a clone of Majin Buu, as a lot of these movies are clones of previous villains, but it made it its own thing. It's definitely, you don't go, oh yeah, that's the Majin Buu clone, as you would say Cooler, like, oh yeah, that's just Frieza, but different color palette. This is like, he has new moves and he is different. Yeah, I don't know. It's great.
I mean, Buu never used a sword, so like even just right there, it's like, okay, there's a clear delineation here, and
that too.
Like, he goes from fat to buff, but like before he was a giant, like puffy monster, and then it was back down to something slim and sleek.
And just Janemba's character design is so great. Like it's definitely one of the best looking villains ever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I just really love the the interaction between Goku and Vegeta. It's very neat that this movie takes place at a point where they're both dead.
Yeah,
so it's interesting.
They really took advantage of that and made their own story with it.
Yeah, I'm impressed with it. And yeah, it's a gorgeous movie. God, I'm trying to remember the ending theme song. I think is pretty sick.
It's Hirobu Kageyama, so yeah, you know what it is.
Of course. It's just, singing about Dragon Ball, as he does.
But even Pikkon is awesome in this, just when he's like holding back Janemba. I just always remember that scene of like Janemba like rushing to get Goku and Vegeta, but then Pikkon steps in with one hand, and he just looks so badass, like just holding that one hand. It's like, hey, you're not going anywhere, man.
It's a real bummer, I think, that Pikkon is a filler only character, because I think he's a pretty cool dude. And
I wish they didn't draw him green though. It just feels like a Piccolo clone.
Yeah,
he's basically taking up the Piccolo role.
Mantle. Yeah.
Just the role in the movie to be like I'll hold him back while you do your thing.
Right. Yeah. It's if it was just a different color, maybe that'd be better. Just so that way there's that
just
constant
a different
comparison.
Color. Yeah. Because if they gave him a nose, it'd be over. Like, that's just Piccolo.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's also wearing like the turban sort of thing. Yeah, I feel that. Is there anything in this movie you didn't like or you wish was different?
I don't know. I think the pacing is done pretty well. It doesn't feel like the funnest one. I don't know, but it really makes up for it in the end.
I think the one thing that I would do is less Hitler and more, have Goten and Trunks just plowing through old series villains that they never met. You know?
Totally. Actually, you're right. That would make it a lot better, because we're done with the Hitler and the army. Just make more villains, because the villains that we know and love, they're on screen for like less than 10 seconds.
Yeah, could you bring back, Piccolo Daimao? And then, of course, we saw the Ginyu Force, some other movie villains. You could have Kula or Tullus there.
We'll just splice this movie with the OVA.
Yeah.
Where Lord Slug and Frieza and all them come back, and then just intersplice
but
it with this.
More fun because it's the kids, and of course they would destroy them instantly.
Yeah, that was always such a bummer that they weren't in the later movies for Super either.
Yeah. Well, if that's our only nitpick, I think it's pretty good. It was a good movie. I liked it.
Me too. I have a lot of sentimental. I remember the day the movie came out in America too, skipping school and going to Best Buy to pick up a copy of the movie with my friend, and taking it back to his place to watch it there. And I was like, that was the first time I was finally crossing over into liking the Japanese version more, because I was like, all right, we'll watch it in English first, then Japanese subtitled, and then back to English cool down or whatever. And he's like, I'm done after just the first English viewing. I'm going, all right, you go downstairs and play video games. I'm going to keep watching this movie.
That's so cool, man. My first time watching it is I had bought some fan subs online, so I just watched it that way in very low quality, but I got to see it, I guess, and enjoy that. And then I wouldn't get it in a good quality DVD home release until the double features set version came out in
oh really?
Yeah, in 2008, 2009.
Yeah, that was a good time after, I think. I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years after, but yeah.
Right. It was good. It was a good time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change those memories for anything. Just me sitting in my room as a lonely 8th grader watching all of Dragon Ball long before anybody else would be able to sit and watch it.
Right. I want to find out more about Juliana.
Let's get her a spin-off movie. Dragon Ball Super, Juliana.
It's funny, they renamed her Juliana, but they kept Romeo as Romeo.
Right? Yeah.
The deal is there.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
How about we take a quick break, and then we come back and we listen to what everybody else had to say.
Let's do it.
Cool. And we're back, and we're here now to hear what you guys had to say about movie 12. First up, we've got John Rogers at MagicBox67, who says, great direction from Yamauchi, an off-the-rails script with a ton of fun ideas. And the Super Saiyan 3 Goku versus Janemba fight is an awesomely edited sequence, with no background music that shines a spotlight on Hidenori Arai's sound design. But this film is missing Kuririn, so it loses a point for that.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. You're totally right, that there's no music behind that fight scene, and it speaks for itself without music.
Yeah, like it's
so good.
It doesn't feel like it's missing anything without it, because I had to think back. I'm like, oh, you're right, it doesn't, and it's still so good and powerful.
It's a great 2 minutes. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I downloaded that clip, on a
that's one of the
modem.
ones.
Yep, it was. I distinctly remember setting it up to download on my dad's computer, and then we left town to go visit my grandparents, and I came back, and it still had like an hour to go, and I'm like, damn it!
Oh my god! No way! That would have drove me crazy. Like I was gone the whole weekend, and you still have 1 hour left. I waited long enough. Darn it!
Right? Dang it! Let me see this sweet fight scene.
That's so great. But like every AMV I saw back in the day, it never cut that scene. Like it had the whole fight scene
because it's so good,
unedited. It's
like a dance.
It really is.
So you can just put it to music and you're good to go. Ashley Denoa at LFCAD says, one of my least popular Dragon Ball opinions. I find this movie pretty boring, and I don't understand why it is loved and is mid in my Dragon Ball movie tier list. I love Janemba, though, and Hitler. You know what I mean, LOL.
I don't know if I know what you mean. I gotta question that.
Love them as a villain, I suppose. Just like Janemba.
They don't like the movie, but they love Hitler. I don't know. We're on different spectrums here.
Oh, come on.
I'm just kidding.
This is our audience. Ashley is not that type of person.
But I kind of sensed that this movie is kind of like that. That was the part I was like, kind of like, do I like this movie? I was like, the pacing is good, but something about it, it does feel.
It doesn't stand out, but at the same time, like, it's possibly just because of my memories of seeing this movie so many times because it looked so cool and the action was so great. So I watched it a ton, obviously.
Maybe I just I've watched it too many times where it just kind of took away from the surprise factor.
See, for me, it's kind of like crystallized my love of it. So seeing it, when I'm 13, like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. And now it's still stuck in my brain of like, this rocks.
I get you. Yeah. Well, maybe like for me, it's, whenever they cut away from Goku and Vegeta, I'm like, I don't want to go back to Goten and Trunks or the Kais. Let's go back to the fight. Let's go back to how good the action is. Let's go back to that.
Right. Super Sean at Kaboom Crusader says, it's my favorite of the original 13Z movies, which is fitting because it's the best one.
Is that what he said?
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
The perfect mix of both bizarre comedy and high-intensity action, like the entire Majin Buu arc was condensed down to just under an hour. Okay, well, I mean, like, you can't say that it's the best. That makes it, and it's good. That's not a good argument. But I do agree with you.
He's got a point.
It is good, and it is one of those movies that, while it's not deep or anything like that, if you need to hit a Dragon Ball and you've got like 45, 50 minutes, this is a good one to go for.
What was the one I said that about recently too? I think it was maybe movie 5.
Movie 5,
cooler movie. I think it's like not too deep, not a lot of like interesting ideas, but it's just a solid like there's a bad guy and let's go fight him and take care of him.
9 was also that way. 5 is good on a new tier.
That's what it was. I'm thinking of 9. Yes, you're right.
5 is on a better tier because it's immediately after Frieza, and like Cooler shows up and we're all like, oh shit, Frieza's still alive, and them trying to like hide. Like, we could talk about 5 again all over the place because it turns out 5 is great, and I'm so sorry that I slept on it for so long.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did. But
I used to not care.
As like Sean was saying that like this is the best movie, I'm thinking like the movies do kind of ramp up in quality as they go on. But now I'm thinking of movie 13 is like movie 13 is good, but I think 12 is like it's where it hit the height of the roller coaster. Then it just kind of starts to dip again.
I'm excited to get to 13.
13's the last one, so it's not 13. Like a big dip.
Right. But. Yeah. Jake Pay at JakePay16 says, Gogeta, more like Goat Gia.
Hey.
No. But all this buildup of Janemba being able to handle Super Saiyan 3 Goku and having Vegeta appear and fail just to have, in my opinion, the best fusion appear for the first time is such fun energy. Then having their kids sense the fusion follow suit is a nice touch.
Mm-hmm, the fan servicey part. But yeah, I guess this fusion does feel like it makes sense in, like, they have nothing else to do. Like, what we need, there's only one way to beat them. It's got to be fusion.
It's just cool to do because we don't actually have that show up of Goku and Vegeta doing the fusion dance in the series. So it's like, oh, let's give them this thing and invent this new character and these new abilities.
This is all we'd get in that sense of a fusion dance with them too. And that's all we get, but no.
Right. Of course we'll get
Super and then Heroes.
GT.
Yeah.
So
Gogeta which is kind of diluted. They're still cool in those instances, but it just dilutes it.
Right, yeah. For this, the first time it was like, this is the only time he shows up. He's like on screen for like 45 seconds, and it's sick.
Well, it's the only fusion of those two characters we get, too. We don't know about Vegito existing later on.
Right, but I mean, even like after Z had come to a close, it's like, this is the only time that Gogeta is around, and it's so short.
Exactly. And I think that makes the character even more iconic. That's all we get of him.
Yeah,
we just get 30 seconds, and he's kicking ass so hard and beautifully within those 30 seconds.
Omega Rockman first was very upset, asking, "Why do I keep missing these tweets? I have notifications on and everything, and they won't go off. What the fuck?" And this was just 3 hours ago. So luckily, I put this tweet out on Friday, and we weren't going to record until Monday, so we actually had plenty of time. So he had said, I like the movie. I even did a dub edit once to try and fix some of the dub issues, and I found that Chris Ayres' game dialogue worked surprisingly well for Frieza's cameo. Whoa. So similar lines, so you just like, boop, toss that in instead of Linda Young's performance, and you're good to
go. I'll like to check that out, actually. That sounds interesting.
Link us to that Omega Rockman, or at least post like a video on Twitter or something, because I'd love to see
like a snippet or a clip. Because I can't think of many instances. I think the dub did this movie pretty well too. There's one instance that I remember very fondly back when I watched it dubbed was when Goku first encounters Fat Janemba.
Mm-hmm.
And like Janemba's like, I want to fight Goku. Like he doesn't say it, but he points at him, and Goku's like, you want to fight me? And Sean Shumwell's delivery of like happy-go-lucky Goku was actually really well done, more so than it was done in the Japanese version with Masako Nozawa. It was just like her Masako Nozawa's voice didn't match Goku's facial emotion in that scene as much as Sean Shumwell's did. So I got to give props where props due.
Yeah, it's good that you can read the character's emotion visually and be like, all right, well, then again, I guess I don't know how much of the movie was completed when she did the voice acting for that. I know that in Japan, generally the voice acting is done last, but usually sometimes you don't have complete animation, so who knows if like the face was drawn differently at the time, but still. Either way, good job, Sean.
Yeah,
very proud of you for that. That's it for there. So we've actually got some fun trivia. I think this is good trivia, Doug. You're going to like this.
I think they're all fun, dude.
Aw, well, thank you. Sometimes I try to screw you, and I'm like, here's a number, or whatever. You figure this out. I learned things from this one, so here we go.
Oh, cool.
Question number 1. Are you ready?
Yes.
The movie poster includes a number of previous villains who are part of the Escape from Hell. What character is on the poster but does not make an appearance in the film?
No way. Are you kidding me?
Uh-huh.
Dang it. Is it a movie villain specifically?
It is a movie villain.
I gotta run through them. Garlic Jr., there's Dr. Wheelo, there's Lord Slug, there's... Wow, I'm blanking. Oh, that Lord Slug's 4. Oh, Tullus, and then Kula, and then Super Android 13, Bojack. I'm just running through them all.
Yep.
And then Broly.
Yeah.
Dang, which one of them is on the cover but doesn't appear in the poster or in the movie?
Yep, that's right.
Dang, I've got no idea. Is it Slug? I'm gonna guess Slug.
Ooh, it is not Lord Slug. It was actually Kula.
Was it Kula?
Yep, Kula is there on the poster behind Janemba with everybody else fleeing hell. He's in his 5th form from movie 5.
Oh.
And yeah, he does not show up in the movie.
I guess they didn't want to conflict Frieza with him in the same shot.
That makes sense. Be like, wait, he just got blowed up. Why is he still alive? This one, I'm going to take you back in time, because you would have been alive. You would have known about Dragon Ball at this time. So We'll see how this goes.
Need to get to 88 miles per hour.
Question number 2. Fusion Reborn had a limited theatrical release in America in March of 2006 and was shown as part of a double feature. What other earlier Z movie was it paired with?
Damn it. I can see the meme image now. There's an image of like the cartoon of like a kid like talking to his mom. Mom, I want to see this movie in theaters, and it's Fusion Reborn and the second movie you're talking about. And then it like 10 years later when I think Battle of Gods came out, and it's like, Mom, I want to see this movie. Like as a 25-year-old man, like I want to see this movie. But what is that? What is the double feature? Okay, so I don't want to say it's a Broly movie. I do want to say it's a cooler movie.
I'm
gonna go with movie 5.
You're going to go with movie 5.
Yep, final answer. I'm probably wrong, but that's what I'm going with.
Oh, it was movie 6.
Was it that horrible piece of shit movie 6? God.
Ooh, man.
Talk about getting a bad appetizer.
Right. Oof. I mean, it did show in theaters more recently as a double feature. I think that one was with movie 8. Or something like that. Because I know that before Super Broly came out, in the US, they showed movie 8, movie 12, and the Bardock special.
Did they?
Yes.
I did go see that with someone.
Did they? Oh, yeah, I was there.
I was there. I remember the Bardock one, I think. Or what? No, I don't know if I did or whatever. But yeah.
Right.
I vaguely remember that.
Right. Oh, man, good times. I also distinctly remember listening to Daizenshu EX at the time, because I believe Mike, Vegito EX, had gone to go see it, and talked about he had the Japanese language track on his iPod, so he put the earbuds in.
Yeah.
Man, that's exactly something I would have done too.
That's stuck with me forever. I'm like, I need to do this. Like, that's genius. And then back then with technology then, I'm like, how am I going to get the audio file onto my Generation 1 iPod or whatever? Like, it was...
Yeah.
I was like, this got to happen now. But
I believe... He had also went to like the Japanese bookstore while he was in New York to go see that, and saw that despite them buying the tickets to go see the movie, that they actually had an early release of the DVD there to purchase. So he bought it before going to see it. If I'm remembering correctly, Mike,
That's
if
funny.
I got it wrong, tell me that I can't remember your memories quite as vividly just from listening to a podcast about your Dragon Ball experience.
It's so weird to know about his past just from listening to his podcast, and just
right.
That specifically stuck with me so hard for some reason. That affected me. That might have changed the course of my life. Him telling me he listened to movie 12 with earbuds in Japanese audio.
It's things I aspire to be, to try that hard to get.
It was wild.
To get the experience I want, to see a movie in the big screen.
It's like,
but also be able to see it that way.
In my mind, I'm like, you're allowed to do that? I couldn't fathom the idea of doing something like that.
Honestly, if I could have done that because when I went to go see Resurrection F, it was it was dub only. Mm-hmm. Like, I wish I could have, if there was a home release in Japan, so I could have had the audio. Same thing for Broly,
point,
but
I think the dub was doing great at that time.
Yeah,
Not great,
it
but it was passable. But yeah, since it was in theaters, I would have gone to see it 3 times,
Yeah, absolutely. Oh man, good times, good trivia, good memories.
Good shit.
Everybody, thank you for dealing with us and all of our ramblings. Thank you for listening. We love interacting with you and keeping you in the conversation, talking about our favorite franchise in the world. So thank you for tweeting at us whenever we put out these things. Feel free to tweet other things at us. If you have ideas for what you want us to do on the show, we're running out of movies soon. So we're going to have to figure out something else to do.
I totally forgot this podcast exists past that. I thought this was just the movie review podcast. And then we're almost done. Cool. And they're like, no, let's keep going.
Does that mean you want to leave? You don't want to be a part of my podcast family?
Yeah, you and your 20 other podcasts you're doing.
I haven't started the second one. But it's in process.
Cool.
So yeah, tweet at us at We Got a Pod. You can email us at wegotapod@gmail.com. Still haven't gotten that first email. Yes, it's sad.
Oops.
If y'all could try to pressure Doug to catch up on the Dragon Ball Super manga, that'd be great. So then he can get what I reference earlier in the show.
No, I love every time you're like, I would say this, but I can't because it's from Super and you don't know.
Oh, you just like to see me just be in agony. You son of a so-and-so.
I love to see you not be able to talk during a talkative podcast format.
Well, fine. I held up my end of the bargain that we actually didn't make a bargain about, and I had brought it up before. Watching Dragon Ball for the first time. It's the 23rd Budokai.
Proclaimed bargain.
Yep. I shook on it. That means... Wait, who did you shake hands with?
I didn't shake hands. It's like, Doug, you read the manga and I'll watch Dragon Ball. I'm like, I didn't agree anything. You're doing that on your own volition.
Yeah, but it's good. Made it to the 23rd Budokai, and Ma Jr. has showed up. And,
good old Piccolo Jr.
Oh, yeah. I've only got, 20 episodes left to go, and it's over?
No way, really?
Yeah.
Dang,
it's not
dude.
much. That arc is short. The whole arc is 21 episodes with only 5 episodes at the end of finding the wedding dress or whatever the hell is happening.
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot more because of the preliminaries, but yeah.
Nope. The preliminaries are 1 episode because the next episode they're the final 8 are chosen. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, we're moving at a good clip. Thank you to Rifti Beats for letting us use his track Kakarot theme hip hop trap remix. You can find it and other great tracks by Rifti on his SoundCloud. Also, thank you to our sponsors. Doug, you got anything you want to plug?
Jabaz Doug on all platforms.
Hell yeah. Check out his AMVs on YouTube. Check out his TikTok. Check out his Twitter. It's good stuff. You can find me at Saber_Breaker on Twitter. I say stupid shit and talk about video games and how I got my PC all ready to go for Windows 11 next week.
Oh, is that happening?
Yeah, it comes out next on the 5th, which is like a Tuesday. I'm all set. Bring it on. I like to try new things, and hopefully it all works and I can nothing bricks and I can continue to record the podcast.
I'm rooting for you, man.
Thank you. Thank you to our sponsors and all that. I think I already said that. Anyway.
Ooh, double thank you to sponsors. Where's that money?
Thank you. It doesn't increase the pay, I'll tell you that. Please subscribe to the show, tell your friends, post a review. It super helps us out. Tweet about it. Be like, hey, listen to the show. I really like it. These dudes are cool and they talk about this dumb cartoon from the 80s that I like.
Yeah, that's what I tell my friends.
That's how I promote it. Anyway, take care, be safe, wear a mask, and get vaccinated, and we'll check you out next time.
See ya.
Boop 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 boop
Do 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 do.